Hi, welcome back to Carly's Growing TBR, A Bookish Life. This is going to be some of my favorite books off of my first bookshelf. I have not done a tour yet, but my books are arranged by author's last name from A to Z. Genres are completely mixed. It's literally by author's last name only. And we're gonna go through my first bookshelf and pick up the books I enjoyed the most. And let's just go ahead and dive right in. These are in no particular order. They're not even alphabetical order because I'm literally just gonna grab them off the pile I have here. But let's talk about some of my favorites. My bookshelf number one is A partway through B, so let's see what I got. The first book I want to talk about for my first bookshelf is A Place to Stand by Jimmy Santiago Baca. Now, Jimmy Santiago Baca is a local to Albuquerque author. He was born in Santa Fe here in New Mexico, and he is Mexican and Apache, and this book is a memoir that follows his life before, during, and after his incarceration, most of which was spent in isolation. He emerges from prison a completely changed man. He went in illiterate, poverty-stricken, and a criminal, and came out literate, a well-spoken speaker, and a poet, and a novelist. This is fantastic. He is a prime example of rehabilitation and just a stellar writer in his own right. I highly, highly recommend this novel. The next book I want to show you is Chain Gang All-Stars by Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah. This is fantastic. This is a critical look at the American prison system through the lens of a dystopian fantasy. So basically we have these inmates that are imprisoned that have to fight in this gladiator type competition in order to garnish their freedom. But this gladiator competition has been televised. It is you can bet on it. You can go to a coliseum to watch it, and you either don't make it through and you end up dead, or you earn your freedom after a 3-year stint in this program. It is harrowing. There are footnotes in this novel relating it to present day prison systems, and I cried viciously at the end of this. This is fantastic. This next novel is one that will probably either be loved or hated by a lot of people on this app, but this is All's Well by Mona Awad. I find Mona Awad is either a lover or hater kind of author, but I absolutely love everything I have read by this author. All's Well is a look at disability, chronic illness, and the burden that people can feel when they are disabled or in chronic illness. I have Ehlers-Danlos, and I am in chronic pain daily, and I have never related more to a main character than I related to Miranda Fitch in this novel. So Miranda Fitch is a retired stage actress who was injured in a on-stage accident and is now chronically ill, disabled, and in a lot of daily pain. And she feels like nobody understands her. Everyone's against her. She's tired of herself hearing about it, how much it hurts all the time. So she feels that everyone around her is tired of hearing about it. And when I tell you, I have never related harder to this. This book captured everything. As you can see, I annotated it very heavily. I loved this so much, and I really think everybody with chronic illness needs to give this a shot. Let's go ahead and talk about a little dystopian horror in Tender is the Flesh by Agustina Basterica, who is an Argentinian author. This is dystopian speculative fiction with horror elements. Basically, what would happen to the United States or the world or whoever if our livestock became uneatable for humans. This shows a dystopian world where that exactly happens. A virus spreads throughout the livestock, makes it poisonous to humans, so humans start farming and killing other humans as livestock to eat. So it's basically cannibalism. It's a hard look at capitalism, at the meat market. It is horrific. When I tell you that I read this book 2 years ago, and I still think about it all the time. All the time. It is disturbing, a disturbing kind of horrific that sticks with you. Changed my brain. Absolutely changed my brain. But this was fantastic. I highly, highly recommend. Let's talk about something a little bit more fun. Let's talk about the Foundryside trilogy by Robert Jackson Bennett. This consists of Foundryside, Shorefall, and Locklands. This is a genre-bending sci-fi fantasy smash-up that is absolutely hilarious. I laughed through almost all of this. Not that there's not hard and difficult, heavy moments in these novels, because there definitely is, but there's also a lot of humor and interesting situations in this as well. There are some really lovable characters, some found family. We have heists, we have thieves, we have something called scribing, which is basically where you imprint or chisel a magical message onto inanimate objects to make them animate and do what you want, which was really, really cool. We have lore, we have magic, we have a sapphic relationship that is absolutely so adorable and lovable, and these books are fantastic. Actually, anything Robert Jackson Bennett writes is pretty fantastic. I would really recommend anything of his that I've read, and I've read most of his stuff. These are fantastic. Give them a shot. Next up, I want to talk about the Six of Crows duology, which consists of the Six of Crows and the Crooked Kingdom, rather, by Leah Bardugo. These are fantastic. Again, they have great representation for disability, chronic illness, PTSD, anxiety. They have a queer relationship, queer representation. They have heists, they have found family. They are dark and gritty and urban and absolutely fantastic. These are great. I could not stop just being shocked at the twists and turns within this novel. It was fantastic. I highly, highly recommend. And last but not least, from my first bookshelf, let's talk about one of my favorite authors to date, and that is Joe Abercrombie. Grimdark fantasy is my favorite subgenre of fantasy. You'll see a lot of that on this page. And this is the First Law trilogy. This is The Blade itself, Before They Are Hanged, and The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. These are fantastic. They have some of the most interesting and mesmerizing character arcs I've ever experienced in novels before. The characters you read in this book are not the same characters you get in this book. The character arcs are fantastic. The plot line, mesmerizing. The politics, the everything about these screams classic grimdark fantasy. They don't call Joe Abercrombie Lord Grimdark for nothing. He is amazing, and I highly, highly, highly recommend reading something by him because you will be enamored with his world and his characters. They're fantastic. He has a very extensive backlog within this world of the First Law trilogy, so if you're interested in a reading order, I'm your gal. Let me know. Happy to make a video about that for you. But those are some of my favorite books on my shelf. Joe Abercrombie is absolutely one of my favorite authors. Thank you so much for sticking around for my first real bookish video. If you have any questions, comments, anything you want to add, if any of these are your favorite authors, if you loved them, if you hated them, let me know. I might be able to change your mind if you hated them, but also I loved them, so I don't really care. Just full disclosure. Yeah, absolutely looking forward to discussing these with you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. I just absolutely enjoyed spending this time with you. Thank you for being here. If you have not subbed, please do. You can find me on all social medias, TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads. Definitely take a gander. Instagram is the other place I am at a lot, if not TikTok. So absolutely join me. I would love to see you everywhere. I would love to interact with you. Please leave me a comment. Let people know about my page. I appreciate you guys so much for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next video.